Happy Friday, everyone. It's time for another exciting episode of Ask Us Anything. We decided to do something different this week. We reached out and asked you to send us your most challenging would you rather questions. And boy, did you guys come through, because some of these are evil. Evil. But let's kick things off from at Jonathan BW Koo, who asks, would you rather watch a hilariously bad movie or an objectively good Oscar bait movie?
I'm going to go Oscar bait movie.
I'm going to go hilariously bad movie. Sometimes those Oscar bait movies really fucking annoy me. I objectively know they're good, like
Yeah.
Jonathan says, but then I also see what they're doing, and all of that capital A acting really gets on my nerves. But
yeah.
I think I would rather sit back and just laugh out loud at something that's really, really stupid.
Yeah, I can't.
I know you can't.
I can't do it hilariously bad. Like I've seen The Room and I never want to watch The Room again. I'm like, no, fuck that shit.
You know what the problem is with The Room?
Many things. Pick one.
The problem is now with people who try to re-look at it and justify it somehow and add a certain amount of credibility to it. I'm like, no, it was a terrible film.
Yeah, just take it. It's fine.
You don't have to write another think piece about The Room.
It's bad. And that's why people like it, because it's bad. So there's no reason for you to try and justify its existence and give it any value or meaning. It's okay. At Nick Dorian asks, would you rather choose Star Wars 4, 5, 6 or the Lord of the Rings trilogy as an all-time favorite?
This is hard lah.
For me, this is easy.
I know.
For me, it's Lord of the Rings. Next question, please. Moving on. I am done.
I'm going to go Star Wars.
I hope we're not just trying to be contrarian with each other.
No. I genuinely think Star Wars has probably had more of an impact on my life. As much as I love Lord of the Rings,
Sure.
I think 4, 5, and 6, watching it for the first time as a child, I think had an indelible influence. So I'm going to go for Star Wars.
Cool.
All right, Bahir, we got a question for you from @Pottery, who asks, would Bahir rather do the truffle shuffle from the Goonies or sing I'm Singing at the Party from Nacho Libre? Also, I feel whatever the answer to this is, we need to make a 90-second Instagram reel.
Shut the fuck up. I will only answer this on the promise that there will not be a 90-second reel in my future.
It's what the people want, Bahir.
You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth. I don't know if I'd rather do the truffle shuffle or sing the song from Nacho Libre. I don't know. It's hard in that they both embarrass me in different ways. Because I suspect there might end up, like, if enough people put down $1 each, I might do Singing at the Party from Nacho Libre.
I was going to say do the truffle shuffle and sing I'm Singing at the Party from Nacho Libre.
That will require a whole lot more money.
All right.
Lego fan in PJ asks, in about 6 years' time, would Uma rather let his son play with all of the Lego toys in the house, or would he be as stingy as the man upstairs in the Lego movie and keep the stuff glued and under display cases?
So my wife actually answered this question on Instagram, Bahir. What is her answer?
Amanda Koo responds by saying Uma will use his son as leverage to be able to buy more Lego under the pretext that this is for his bonding with his son time.
I'm already using that excuse now.
I know.
Because I'm like, it might get discontinued. So I should buy it now and then keep it in the box for 5 or 6 years.
Yep.
So that we can build it together.
Yep, I've heard you actually use this excuse. So,
I have.
So that's the answer. I'll be honest. I don't think Uma will ever keep his Lego glued and under display cases.
Oh, that's true. I mean,
That's just not you.
it's not also because, I have a lot of unopened Lego boxes, but only because I don't have time to build them. I'm not the kind of person that collects it for the sake of collecting it.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I go to the shop and I buy a new Lego and the guy's always like, would you like to examine the box? I'm like, no, bro, I'm going to rip it open and build the thing. I'm going to play with it. I'm not one of those pristine collector guys.
The only way I can see you putting stuff in a display case is so that it keeps the dust off.
Correct. I hate dust.
Yeah.
We have 2 questions here from @Tush6303, who seems to know us rather well or has been listening to this podcast for a very long time, because they are very specific questions. So, I'm going to ask yours first, Bahir.
Okay.
Would Bahir rather watch a 4-hour horror anime movie or a 30-minute short film by Zack Snyder featuring The Rock? This is like a nightmare scenario on both ends.
It's not that hard, I think. So
Really?
Okay. So I need to ask a follow-up question.
Sure.
Is the 4-hour horror anime movie good? Is it an objectively good 4-hour horror anime movie?
Tush doesn't specify, but I think something that is objectively good, irrespective of the genre,
that's the problem,
both
right?
of us will automatically watch, right? We have no aversion to good things.
Yeah. Okay, so assuming it's
Then again, wait,
yeah,
sorry.
okay,
Then
okay.
again,
Mm.
there are a lot of fucking great anime that you refuse to watch.
I disagree.
I don't know, motherfucker.
Give me a title of a great anime
Bro,
thing. Yeah. What?
You took a year with my Cowboy Bebop box set, which is one of
Yes.
the greatest animes of all
Sure.
time. And you watched 2 episodes.
And I didn't like it, so I didn't want to watch anymore. So you see, it's not that I didn't watch it; is I watched it and I didn't like it.
There's a lot of Miyazaki out there that you refuse to watch.
Refuse is probably a strong word, but like I never found the reason to watch it. Right? Like we're not going to review it. Like we reviewed The Boy and the Heron. I watched that, but I'm not going to sit around and 12 hours and go through the Ghibli sort of oeuvre of films. Fuck that. I ain't got that time.
Fine, answer the question.
I would say the 30-minute short film by Zack Snyder featuring The Rock. Like this to me is what a hilariously bad movie is to you.
Probably.
Also, it's just 30 minutes. I could just, power through it. Also, just because I want to see how bad and how much slow motion there is in that film. Okay? Now, Thush6303's question for you, Uma, is would you rather watch a 4th Hobbit movie by Peter Jackson or a 2nd Justice League movie by Joss Whedon?
I hate the fact that 4th comes before Hobbit movie. The fact that there are already 3 makes me angry.
Yeah, that's true.
I would rather watch a 2nd Justice League movie by Joss Whedon.
Okay.
Because it feels less self-indulgent.
Yeah.
It may be bad, it may be hilariously bad,
Yeah.
but it's less self-indulgent than another Hobbit movie.
The fact that there is another Justice League adventure is not out of the question.
Correct.
Yes.
At Kai Chalmers asks, would you rather, this is an evil question.
This is one crazy lah.
Would you rather live in a world like the mind? Sorry, before I get into this question, the mind that came up with this question is already a special kind of sick. So congratulations at Kai Chalmers.
Yeah.
But would you rather live in a world where in every film, series, or animation you watch, you hear Owen Wilson's wow every 7 seconds at various random volumes, mind you, not even intervals, volumes, or live in a world where Steven Seagal plays every character in every film you watch, including animated films and TV shows?
That is, you know what? I'm just going to answer the question really quickly. I think it doesn't matter because I'll be reading books.
I think I would rather do Owen Wilson. I feel like the wow will just become a part of my vocabulary after a while. Like, I would much rather listen to that than look at Steven Seagal's face. Like, I used to be, don't get me wrong, I used to be a Steven Seagal fan growing up as a kid because my mom used to watch his movies because she used to love action movies.
Sure.
And then as I grew up, I realized what a douchebag he was. And now I find it very difficult to watch his movies. But the Owen Wilson, wow, you were at different volumes as well. So it's
No,
just
but like,
wow.
Can you imagine like that scene from A Few Good Men? You want the truth? Wow. You can't handle the truth. Wow. It cannot. It's like it just ruins every moment ever written in cinema.
Oh shit, this is a diabolical question.
For me, the answer is it doesn't matter because I'll be reading books.
Let's leave it at that.
At Henry asks, would you rather watch the movie first or read the book it's based off, considering it's a new title or movie?
You know my answer to this one.
Yeah, I know your answer to this one. For me, I'll probably just do the movie because I read really slowly.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just watch the movie. And then if I like it, I'll go get the book.
I often do this and I read the book first. As soon as I hear that something is being adapted, sometimes I like to check out the book.
Right.
I read a lot of books, so a lot of the times the books I read are already about to be adapted.
Or they end up being adapted subsequently.
I don't know if it's a rather thing, it's just something I do.
I mean, the one that comes to mind right now is The Martian. Like, I watched that movie and I loved it. Then I went and read the book.
Yeah, and the book is completely different, right? Like the
Yeah.
book goes into a lot more sciencey stuff, which is very cool.
And I think that's something that we here sort of fight for, right? Like, we don't believe that a film adaptation of a book needs to be a slavish adaptation
Yeah.
because it's a different format. Also, you know what it is? I always find I get disappointed when I read the book first.
Oh, because the movie doesn't live up to that expectation?
Yeah, because, like, I'm an imaginative little fellow. So, like, when I read the Jurassic Park book and then saw the movie, I'm not saying I was disappointed with the movie, but the movie became more action-packed than the book was.
Yes, the book is super sciencey.
Yeah, and the book felt a little more thriller-esque, whereas
Yes.
the film is very, like, big dinosaurs chasing you.
And the book also has a lot of that chaos theory stuff, which is
Yeah,
pretty cool.
which is pretty cool. I felt the same way with Ready Player One. Read the book first and then saw the film, and I was like, yeah, the film's fine, but the book is way better. After those handful of experiences, I try and not ruin the cinematic experience for me.
At MFT Sena 10 asks, would you rather they make a TV series to bring another take of the same Harry Potter book stories, or have them make individual films about each main character? So they're already making a new series based on the books, which is kind of like a reboot.
Also, the casting call for that just went out like
Oh,
a couple
there you
days
go.
ago. Yeah.
I think that's very interesting because it feels like now every season might be based around one book, or at least that's what we're led to understand. I don't know if it's going to be a different take, I think it just might be a straight up reboot.
I think that will in itself be a different take because, as we've said already, the films have to compress a book into about 2 hours.
Yeah.
So I think if you're going to be given the space to tell it over 6, 7, 8 hours, I think that's exciting. I don't think it's a 22 episode season. I think it has to be a 6, 7, 8 kind of style. I don't like 6. I like 8. I think writers have lost the ability to tell stories over 10 episodes or more. I think that might be stretching it, but I like 8. I actually would rather have them do what they're doing now, which is just taking the books, making a teleplay out of it, and just doing that.
The only movie or trilogy I would like to see about a main character is I want to see a trilogy featuring Sirius Black. That is the
Oh.
only character I care enough to go, hey, he looks like he would have been fucking cool when he was at the top of his game. So,
right.
yeah, I want to see his trilogy about Sirius Black, but Gary Oldman is getting on, and so he can't play the character again. So that would be hard casting.
Gary Oldman's only doing Slow Horses. Everybody else take a backseat.
Yep. That's all we want to see him in.
I will say, I would love an actual Fantastic Beasts movie. Not the one we got. Like, I would love to see what's-his-face just going around saving Fantastic Beasts. That's what I want to fucking see. I don't want to see the birth of Voldemort. I don't need the Dumbledore backhand story. I don't need it. I just want to see the guy going around saving Fantastic Beasts. I know. I said Dumbledore backhand. I know. Phrasing, Bahir, phrasing. But you know what it is?
Surprise gay joke.
It's because that was the promise I was given when I found out the Elder Weasley does it, right? That's what he does. He goes around and saves Fantastic Beasts in China, in Mongolia, in the deepest, darkest Amazonian
forest. And we got
forest.
so little of that in the movies.
We
it was
got
so
none
disappointing.
of it, dude.
Yeah. You got a little bit at the prologue of every film. That's it.
I think that was a missed opportunity and a fake out of unbelievable proportions.
Agreed.
At Brandon Ho Shingven asks, would you rather get the PS5 Pro or get the new iPhone 16?
Very easy answer for me.
Samesies.
iPhone 16. And the reason for me is very simple. The iPhone is something I use every day. We use it for work. I get the most utility out of the money that I spend on the iPhone 16.
Yes.
Also, I think my eyes are not that good. I still have my PS5 plugged into a 1080p TV, and it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't notice the difference. I'm just playing my games. Yeah, I don't think I've seen any of my games in 4K. At Rabbit Hop asks, would you rather watch... Oh, this is another diabolical question, lah. Would you rather watch all of Rob Schneider's movies or all of Kevin James's movies?
Okay, I'm going to go first. I would be reading books. No, okay. If I had
to pick, gun to my head, I would go Kevin James.
Samesies. I would
Yes,
do
because
Kevin
Rob
James.
Schneider is incredibly annoying.
The problem is Rob Schneider very early on became a punchline to his own self. Whereas Kevin James may not make great content, but he's still at least mildly trying to tell a story.
Yes.
At Pajoka Fanatic 91 asks, would you rather watch all of Michael Bay's Transformers movies back to back non-stop marathon? Or watch your bottom 3 ranked Star Wars films?
I would rather watch Star Wars.
I would say Star Wars as well, because one, it's quicker to get through, and two, I had the best nap of my life watching Phantom Menace.
Also, I think despite me not liking a lot of the prequels, I still enjoyed the world building in them. I think narratively they were flawed and the dialogue had issues, but all of the world building was still pretty freaking cool. And some of the action sequences were fantastic. Meanwhile, with the Bay movies, I like the first one, and then after that, it's just a lot of metal clinking, clanking, fighting noises.
Agreed.
At Xiare Zen asks, would you rather watch the Emoji Movie or Cats live action movie? Follow-up question, which live action would you rather watch, Lion King or The Little Mermaid? So let me say that the Emoji Movie was, I think, the first movie in a long time that I actually wanted to walk out of after 20 minutes because it was so fucking bad. I would much rather watch Cats because I was laughing a lot all the way through. The Emoji Movie wasn't even funny. It was just painful to watch. So I would pick Cats over Emoji. I would also pick Lion King over The Little Mermaid.
Oh.
Yeah, motherfucker.
I will agree with you for the first one, Cats live action movie. However, I think I enjoyed the Little Mermaid movie more than I did the Lion King one.
Oh, all right then.
Yeah. At Travis D asks, given the power to reverse time and allow a sequel from the 80s blockbuster 3 years after the original came out, would you rather want to see Goonies 2 or E.T. Part 2?
Goonies Part 2.
Samesies. Although there's rumors that that's happening.
Apparently that's happening right now.
Apparently they're starting to write it.
Right?
Yeah. So a sequel from the 80s, 3 years after the original came out, the answer is Goonies. If I wanted to see an E.T.'s blockbuster now, the answer is still the Goonies.
There is, and look this up. There was talk of an ET Part 2, and I think people have spoken about a script that they saw, and it was terrible. It like completely shifts the tone of the movie, and it never got made, thank God. But I can't remember what the specifics or what the details were, but just that it was really bad.
Would you want to see an E.T. Part 2? Say the kids have grown up and they've got their own kids, and then E.T. comes back because he's running away from, I don't know, whatever, and thinks that these guys will save them or something?
No lah.
Or maybe Drew Barrymore and what's his name? I keep forgetting his name.
Oh, the guy from Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah. So they've grown up and they've become scientists and they try and call out to ET or something.
No lah.
Yeah, you're right, because I don't know what I would do with that story over the course of 2 hours.
I think just leave well enough alone. There are few things in this world, there are few movies in this world that have been left alone so far, and I think E.T. should be one of those things.
Yeah, I agree.
Ed Kabir Singh asks, would you rather watch a gritty, dialogue-driven action film by Christopher Nolan or a non-linear science fiction action thriller by Quentin Tarantino? Turning the tables.
Nolan.
Yeah,
I don't trust Quentin Tarantino to tell a non-linear science fiction action thriller.
Same.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy.
Easy.
All right.
At Kailash Laxman asks, would you rather watch The Holdovers or Dead Poet Society? Ooh, this is a tough one, Kailash.
This is very susah.
Yeah.
I might have to go Dead Poets, man.
I might go The Holdovers only because there's definitely less chances of me crying.
That's true. Although, I mean, watching Dead Poets now, there's double reason, right? Because of the
Yes.
tragic ending and no more Robin Williams.
Yes, exactly.
So that'll just make you even sadder. But as a kid, man, I watched that movie so many times.
Really?
I remember I had the pirated VHS, and my parents made me watch it because they thought, it would be a great influence.
And make you
Good
respect
teacher,
your teachers.
English,
Yeah.
poetry, all of
Yeah.
that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And man, I love that movie.
It's a great film, but I really don't like crying in films in general. But yeah, so I'd probably go with The Holdovers.
We have another diabolical question. At Iman Bahari asks, which franchise would you rather kill? The Aliens franchise or the Predator franchise? If you had asked me this question a few years ago, I think I would have had a better answer
Yes.
or a quicker answer. The problem is now Prey exists and
Yes.
Alien Romulus exists, and Trachtenberg is making his sequel to Prey now.
Yes.
And I'm just like, oh no.
And there's the What's His Name's Aliens TV show.
Correct.
So this is a harder question in
2024.
Yeah.
How?
Okay, I'm gonna go back to say 2020 before any of the
You
good
can't
stuff.
time travel.
Okay.
You cannot time travel
Okay.
to answer this
If we're
question
not-
and put in that caveat.
If we're not time traveling, I will probably say the Predator franchise.
Same lah.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the world building with aliens a bit more.
Yeah. Also because at the moment we don't know anything about the Predator character other than the fact that he fucking hunts humans.
Right, yes.
That feels so one note, despite what Trachtenberg has done, right? Even with what Trachtenberg has done, he's essentially made a movie about an alien who likes to hunt humans in a different timeline. So it could have so easily gone bad in other people's hands, right? So I think the Aliens franchise has a better promise and a better, bigger universe that I would rather be in.
All right.
At Ken Gutson asks, would you rather be the creator of a blockbuster movie or a well-loved indie film? Blockbuster movie, man.
Same. Sorry, Ken. We like money.
The money. I'm sorry, Ken. I don't understand. I don't mean. I'm not trying to be insulting.
As a former indie film producer, Bahir knows what it's like to make indie
Yeah.
movies, and
Yeah.
he would much rather have the money.
Yeah. Fuck being loved. Money can
With
buy
money,
that
I
shit.
can buy love.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Exactly.
I may not be loved, but I'll be comfortable.
I think Zack Snyder doesn't give a fuck what we think about him. He's got all of that Netflix cash, and he's just swimming in it like Scrooge McDuck.
Yes, I would clearly, easily rather be the creator of a blockbuster movie.
We got another question from Ken who asks, and this is our last question for this episode, but a difficult one. Would you rather travel forward or backward in time?
I find that question a little easier to answer.
Oh, really? Yeah?
Yeah, for me.
I think I know your answer. You're going to say forward.
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, because the easy answer for me is to say forward in time because I want to see what happens in the world and I want to see the new technology and all of that stuff.
Yes.
And
but
also because I'm a klutz, and if I destroy something in the past, I might change history.
yeah, but here's the thing, right? If you travel backwards, you could buy Apple stock and make a shit ton of money.
But going back to the money thing,
See, because the thing is, if you travel forward and then you suddenly find out that Donald Trump has won again, do you really want to see 2037 with MAGA the way it is, with the way our country is being run, the way the world is happening? Or would you rather just go back, make money, and die before that happens? Easy.
Wow.
Backward.
you really brought this thing down, huh?
Hey, these guys asked the question. I'm answering them honestly. Backwards in time.
I think I would like to go really far back in time.
Oh, I don't want to go that far.
Oh, interesting. I want to go
Exactly.
really far back in time just to see what the world was like.
I'm not interested in that shit. I just want to make money.
Fine. Bai wants to make money and has absolutely no faith in the future. This is what we've learned from this question.
Yeah, like if you go back in time and you'll be like, oh, look, Edison didn't invent the light bulb. Some other rando did. What does that change? Nothing. Fuck all. Right? But if I go back and I know that Apple's going to be what it is, I will skip buying that iPod and buy a couple of stocks. Fuck it. Yeah. I will be, what was the iPod? 20 years ago?
Yes.
So I will be 60 at this point and swimming in the dough. You know what? Excuse me, Mr. Jim Ratcliffe, sit down. I'll buy Manchester United. I'll fix that shit. And I don't even have to buy Manchester United. I'll just buy a summer home in Manchester and just get a season ticket and just watch the football.
So basically, Ken, Bai is Biff from Back to the Future.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is what this answer has given you.
No, hang on.
He might have Bahir Tower, a giant casino
See,
somewhere.
I don't want any of that. That just means work. I don't want work. I want to make money so I don't have to work.
Right. Okay.
It's a very personal thing. I don't want power. I don't want control.
No.
Control and power means responsibilities.
I think we're going to leave it at that. I think that's the perfect answer.
That's the button.
There you go. There you go. That's the button right there. Thank you so much for your questions, folks. This has been a very, very fun effort. Keep them coming in. I mean, even though next week may not be a Would You Rather edition, keep the Would You Rather questions coming in because, hell, they're a lot of fun. Thank you so much for your questions. As always, you know how to reach out. Goggler MY, all of our social media feeds. You can also email us on podcast@goggler.my or send us a WhatsApp on the Goggler hotline 012-524-5208. Thank you so much for listening. This is the Goggler Podcast.